Hey everyone, I'm Steph. Welcome to the Secret Slob channel. Today I'm going to be decluttering my entire house in preparation for moving. I wasn't really sure how to go about getting ready to move. Our new house is quite a bit smaller than this house, but I figured decluttering everything and having a lot less stuff to move is going to be a very smart first step. So I went through every single room with a box and a garbage bag, and you won't believe how much stuff I was able to get rid of. A lot of people have found that moving is the easiest time to declutter. You don't want to move extra stuff, you don't want to pay movers to move extra stuff, and you don't want to get to your new house and feel like you're unpacking things you don't even want to keep. So whether you're moving this year or not, go through your things as if you were planning to move and pack it all up, and you'll find a lot of things that do not need to live in your house anymore. The second reason I wanted to declutter before I started packing was I have little kids. A lot of our stuff is kind of spread out all over the house. We have sets of toys that have been distributed, and so I thought if I decluttered, I would be able to find everything, put it all together, and then either donate it or at least have it all in one spot, and that will make unpacking at our new house a lot easier. As I mentioned before, we're downsizing. Our new house is a little over half the size of this one, so quite a bit smaller. I don't want extra stuff in there. I don't have space for extra stuff, so I need to get rid of as much as possible. I have two rules when it comes to decluttering. Number one, do not declutter other people's stuff unless they are completely unable to do it for themselves, like children, or if you've had a family member pass away. The second rule is do not take out more stuff and do not attempt to declutter more than you have time to put away. When it comes to decluttering, often it gets messier before it gets better, so you want to try and keep that to a minimum. Start with a drawer or a closet or a single room, and don't let things get out of control. Finish where you are before you move on to the next space. So let's get decluttering. What you'll need are boxes for donations, boxes for garbage or bags for garbage, and then I also like to always carry around a laundry basket. It's kind of my secret weapon for things that don't belong in the room I'm currently working in but need to be moved to another area of the house. I carry that laundry basket with me as I go and then kind of sort things out from there. The boxes are the most important, and always make sure they're nice and strong. You don't want stuff falling apart on you. When I'm decluttering, I like to work room to room or area to area. The worst mistake you can make with decluttering is trying to do everything at the same time. So start with a drawer, or start with one closet, or start with one room. I'm gonna start in my kids' room. I always find it's really easy to get my decluttering muscles flexing by getting rid of stuff that doesn't fit them, or they're not using, or it's ripped or broken. And then once I'm kind of in that decluttering mode, I can move on to areas of my house where I might find a few more sentimental objects. It's kind of a disaster in here. I pretty much just threw everything from their bedroom into the closet when we had our first showing, and I haven't touched it since, so I'm gonna sort it all out right now. So here is my basket of things that belong somewhere else, I don't know. And then I have garbage, laundry, donation bins are filling up. So that's it for this room. I feel like I did pretty good. I did leave out some sweaters because I just want to see what I have, what I collect through the rest of the house before I choose what to get rid of. Moving on to the next bedroom. The second room I'm working in is our baby's room. Now this one is a little harder for me. I'm starting to feel a little bit sentimental. I'm pretty sure we've had our last baby, and so I'm starting to get rid of a lot of that stuff I've had for 5 or 6 years since my first baby. It's definitely hard. I am gonna keep some sentimental items, like some of the things that were handmade or just things we have special memories with, but I'm trying not to keep more than one box per kid for their whole lifetime. I know when my mom gave me my box, it was really special, and I really didn't feel like I needed more than that. So I'm really trying not to hang on to too many things, especially as we move to our new house. Okay, so I've learned I have an issue with hoarding hangers and blankets. Who knew? Okay, check it out, another full box. So definitely making some progress and finding some stuff to check out. I'm gonna start in my room, in my dresser. I've always found clothes really easy to declutter. I don't feel sentimental or attached to them. And because I've been doing this dressing your truth thing for a few months now, I will link to that below. I have a really good idea of what I'm gonna wear and what I'm absolutely not gonna wear. Number one, it has to be comfortable. Number two, it has to be colorful. And number three, it has to serve a function in my life. No more hanging on to dream pants and vacation clothes for vacations I may or may not go on. If I need new stuff, I will just go get it. So this is kind of a hard one. These are my old Merino wool base layers. They're super expensive, but when I wore them, I was probably like 20 pounds less than I am now. And when I put them on now, they're so tight in the underarms and they're so tight around the waist. They're super uncomfortable. So super expensive, kind of hard to replace, but they don't fit me. And every time I've tried to wear them in the last 4 or 5 years, they're so uncomfortable, I just take them off. So even though I spent a lot on them originally, and they served me very well for like 10 years, and they're still in good shape, they're not serving me now. I'm never gonna be 20 pounds less than I am now. So I think it's time for them to say goodbye. The bathroom might not seem like an obvious place to declutter because there's probably not going to be things you're going to be donating, but you'll probably find some garbage like empty containers, old shampoo bottles, maybe towels can be donated or reused, made into cloths. It's just good to go through the entire house when you're doing it. You might find something that belongs somewhere else and you can get the whole house organized in one shot. Okay, I'm all done in the upstairs. I definitely came up with a lot of stuff, 4 boxes, mostly filled with kids' clothes, some books, and a few scattered toys. But I would say that's a really good start. I'm gonna move downstairs now. It might be a little bit less, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's actually a lot more. Okay, so laundry room. You can see I've got my laundry waiting there for my kids to wake up from their nap. I can put it away. Probably don't think there's a lot to declutter, but I'm gonna have a look. And I do have my bin that I keep all the time when I'm doing laundry where I throw clothes that I know my kids don't fit. So I'm gonna quickly pull that stuff out. I can add that to my pile. There's actually a lot of stuff in here. Okay, I threw a bunch of stuff in here when I was packing, and so there's like random things like socks. So this is my living room. It is blissfully uncluttered. I don't have any drawers or cabinets or shelving in here. I actually probably don't even need to tackle this room because everything you see is exactly what's in this room. So we're gonna move on to the office. Now this is where we keep all of our books and games and some of our school supplies, stuff like that. I like to go through our books pretty regularly. I personally don't keep books that I've read, although my husband does. These are mostly his, but I also like to go through my kids' books for things that we're not reading, things that really aren't appropriate age for them, or just things we don't like. I get a lot of books at the thrift store. I kind of treat it as my non-returnables library, and so when we're done with something, I can just pass it along or pass it back to them. My kids love these magazines and they're super great for taking camping because it doesn't really matter if they get wrecked, so I do like to keep these to the side, and when they're all mixed up with our books, I can't find them, so I'm just gonna put them to the side and put them out in my trailer. So I feel like we got a fair amount of stuff. And then I also have this, which I'm collecting all the pieces for. I don't want to be that person that donates something that's all not there, because then that's just garbage for the thrift store. So I'm gonna try and find all the pieces for that so I can actually donate it and someone can make use of it. One of the reasons my house is feeling really unorganized right now is because when we decided to sell the house, it kind of happened quickly and I needed to really quickly put away all of the extra stuff in preparations for the house for showing. And that meant shoving a lot of things into a lot of closets and drawers and cupboards. This is not how I would normally function or operate, but it was kind of a desperate measures situation where I needed to clean the whole house and we had some extra clutter and some personal items. They had to be stuffed away. So In saying that, now I have to go through and actually find all the things. So it's a really good time to declutter, find everything, put it where it belongs. So when I pack, everything that belongs in a certain room will stay in the same box and go to the corresponding room at our new house. You'll see a few pretty packed closets and drawers. Oh, this is a box of maternity clothes, so that can definitely go. Okay, so lots of jackets and some boots that don't fit, sadly. Making a pretty good pile here. Okay, so mostly what I feel like when I cleaned the house for showing, I shoved a ton of stuff up in here. It's just a total random grab bag of things, so I'm gonna just go through all of that and hopefully declutter a ton of it. Oh, so many shoes, so many kids, so many shoes. Oh my goodness, so many mittens, skates. Oh, oh gosh. Halloween candy. We don't need that anymore. They always say it has to get worse before it can get better, right? This is really bad, but we can sort this out. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take a break from my main floor. I have a babysitter so I can go downstairs and tackle my kids' toys. If you are going to declutter your kids' stuff, it's always a little bit easier to do it when they're not there. Okay, so our playroom and our basement is generally pretty decluttered, but a lot of the reason for that is because I hid pretty much everything, all the extra toys, in the furnace room. It's really bad. It's so bad. So I'm gonna start with this pile, but it kind of feels like I put this stuff away and my kids didn't even notice it was gone. And most of it can probably just leave our house for good. I think I'm gonna do a pretty serious declutter here. We're moving to a farm. They're gonna have tons of stuff to do. All right, good first round. I have stuff to go to the thrift store, already a pretty good size pile, empty containers, and then stuff that needs to find a place in our house, including a bunch of paperwork and kids projects I need to sort through for this year, and then just stuff that hasn't found a home yet or is going to go to the thrift store once I find the full set. I don't like to just throw random things, so. All right, making progress. Look who I just found. If you don't know what this is, you haven't been watching my channel since the beginning. This demon toy, it just can't leave our lives. Oh my goodness, what are you still doing here? All right, so these, you might recognize these bins from my toy rotation video, and toy rotation worked really well for us for a long time until our third baby was born. And well, I think he had been born at the time, but he didn't have toys. But once we started receiving more and more toys for him and the girls, and the toys kept coming in, I basically never rotated the toys because we were just always getting new toys. So I have to get back into this. It worked really well, but I think a lot of this stuff has been in here since like last September at least, so almost a year, which means my kids probably don't miss it, but also that I could probably rotate some of this old stuff out and replace it with this. I also know that I filled one of these with a bunch of random stuff when I got ready for showing the first time. So let's just go through it all and see what I can put back and see what they're probably just done with for now. That's lots of stuff. This is an entire bag of potato heads. It's a lot of potato heads. Okay, I'm gonna get this sorted out and hopefully get rid of a bunch of it. Small setback. My kids came home and they caught me decluttering their stuff. And it is my rule to not declutter other people's stuff, but I feel like when it comes to little kids, I have full reign, because if they got to keep everything they wanted, we would be drowning in papers and toys and garbage. So they caught me, we worked through it together, we talked about it. Some stuff did come back out, but I still feel like I did pretty good. 2 more rooms, let's have a look. I know there's not a lot, but I did fill that one closet with, I'm pretty sure, blankets. Okay, so it's a lot of giant stuffed animals that we don't need, and these, and giant stuffed animals, and a giant Raggedy Ann doll, and blankets, and blankets, and blankets, and blankets. What is with this family of blankets? I think we need to start a blanket count. And here is our gym. Okay, so we've got weights, we've got our rower, a little step, some gear. I think we're mostly using all that stuff. Okay, day 3. I'm done the basement, I'm done the top floor, almost there. I'm gonna do the pantry, the command station, the kitchen, and my bathroom, and then I think that's it. Aside from the garage, and that's my husband's territory. So pantry, I don't think there's gonna be a ton. I'm always surprised though, so I have a couple boxes. Let's get decluttering. I just went to the dentist, so excuse my mouth, but I finished here in the pantry and I actually came up with a pretty good sized haul. So this whole box is full, and yeah, just stuff we don't need, including my breast pump, no more babies, and I don't know, just random stuff. So better than I thought, and I got all of my kids' craft stuff organized, which was amazing. I'm gonna stop talking now because I realize I sound totally crazy. So I'm gonna move on and do my command station next. It's way more than I thought it was gonna be. So I didn't end up getting too much stuff out of my command center, but I kind of expected that. So it's just a little box here, but lots of room for extra stuff. It was mostly paperwork and then also office supplies, so I just filed the stuff that needed to be filed and put the stuff aside for my husband that he needs to go through, but it was not too bad. I think the hot spots have really been helping. All in all, I had 10 boxes of stuff, plus a few random, loose, miscellaneous items. I didn't donate any of my blankets. I just worry that we'll be cold. So I guess I'm a blanket hoarder, and that's okay. I'll just have to find a place for them to live at our new house, otherwise they'll have to go. So 10 boxes of stuff, that is huge. Those are packed to the top and stuffed down, stuff that I can take out of our house now. I don't have to even move to the new house. I don't have to pay the movers to move to our new house. I'm pretty pleased with how much I was able to get rid of, and I'm feeling really good about this packing process. I know exactly where everything is. I know exactly how much I have, so I can get my boxes, I can start packing, and I know it's going to make the whole process so much easier. I hope this video inspires you to do a declutter of your own, whether you're moving or not. It's always a really good practice to do every single year. I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.